In this text, I will be analyzing a soliloquy by Iago in Shakespeare's play Othello in Act 2, Scene 3. The soliloquy occurs directly after Iago has framed Cassio for causing a drunken brawl in the street after he has deliberately gotten him drunk, with the intention of having Othello remove Cassio as a position of officer. I will be analyzing this text under the main umbrella of main guiding question of how this soliloquy forms the pivotal point in which Shakespeare demonstrates the true characteristics of Iago. And within that, I will explore the concept of how Iago really is a malignant character and how he plots to bring the downfall of Othello. So what's immediately obvious to me in this soliloquy is the sense of that opposition between good and evil. Shakespeare, I think, really demonstrates this through his use of words that have religious connotations. So he uses words here like baptism, how Desdemona is so tempting that the Moor would renounce his baptism, and then he goes down here to talk about divinity of hell, of devils, and of Satan. So in that sense, that opposition of good and evil is embodied by that conflict, that age-old conflict between Christianity and evil, which is obviously a very classical way of putting things. Not only does this kind of show Iago as encapsulating that evil of Satan, but it also brings about that opposition, portraying Othello and Desdemona as that pure sense of, of purity and goodness. And that tension between the two forms the basic crux of the soliloquy and perhaps the play as a whole as well. That sense of opposition between good and evil is really emphasized, I think, through the subtle use of symbolism. Shakespeare mentions words such as fruitful, and again here mentioning Desdemona as having an appetite to play the god. So that perhaps evokes biblical connotations, going back to the story of Adam and Eve, perhaps linking Iago to a snake character and Desdemona and Othello as Adam and Eve, and showing how Iago is about to utterly ruin their lives in a way that's reminiscent of how the snake ruined Adam and Eve's life. And against that sense of naivety between Othello and Adam and Eve, and Othello and Desdemona, that sense of naivety because they're not aware of that lack of goodness in snake Iago. By referring to Iago in soliloquy in these terms, religious terms, it gives a sense of metaphysicality in the way that Iago talks, and that really just elevates him to a new kind of level, a new omnipotent evil, as it were. The reader gets a sense that he is both inevitable and ominous, and again fear him as a result. That really comes down to portraying Iago as psychopathic and evil. The repeated use of rhetorical questions in the soliloquy here, and places like here, really just show how self-assured Iago is of his plot. Not only is he evil, but he's confident in the way that he goes about his evil. He's merciless. How evil one has to be to befriend a person that you hate utterly, and then backstab him, shows not only how Iago is completely motivated towards his cause, but he's merciless in the way that he wants to achieve it. And that builds up Iago as a kind of an unbreakable force, a kind of scary thing. He does everything that's calculated, and as a result, the reader really does believe that he can achieve the goal that he wants. And that builds up tension in the play because the audience begins to sympathize with Othello, knowing that their relationship, their perfect narrative relationship between that relationship between Othello and Desdemona is really perfect, and how Iago wants to shatter that really forms a tension. Not only that, the reader believes that Iago is going to be able to do that because he is a calculated character and one that will do anything to achieve his goal. And in that sense, I think it's pivotal because it shows how Iago has reached the pinnacle of his evilness, and this will sustain itself throughout the play.